There's something beautiful about silence. Not the silence that comes from a lack of words, but the silence that arrives after you've said everything you needed to say. Not out loud, but through your presence, your consistency, and your values. And then one day you choose to walk away, not in anger, not in bitterness, but in quiet dignity. And suddenly, they miss you. We live in a world that glorifies noise. Louder voices, stronger opinions, faster lives. But I've found, through my own highs and lows, that true power lies in restraint. In knowing your worth so deeply that you don't have to shout it from the rooftops. You simply live it, breathe it, embody it, and when the time is right, you step away. Letting your absence speak volumes, that is grace, that is strength. That is the art of letting them miss you. You don't have to burn bridges to be remembered. You don't have to slam doors to make a point. Sometimes just walking away peacefully, gracefully, creates more impact than 1,000 arguments ever could. And let me tell you this, people may not notice your presence when you're always available, always giving, always showing up, but they will feel your absence like a storm when you stop. I've experienced it myself. There were moments in my life when I poured every part of myself into people, into projects, into causes, thinking that love, effort, and loyalty would be enough. And sometimes it is. But often it isn't. Not because you're not enough, but because people get used to light when it's always shining. They stop noticing it. They take it for granted. Until one day, that light dims, that warmth retreats, and suddenly the world feels colder. That's when they look back. That's when they remember. And let me say this, it's okay to be missed. In fact, it's a sign that you mattered, that your presence was real, that your love was deep, that your support was unwavering. People miss what's rare. They miss what's genuine. They miss what they can't replace. So don't mourn being missed. Embrace it. It means you lived your truth. But here's the part we often forget. Missing someone isn't always enough to make them change. It's not your responsibility to fix someone who didn't see your value when you were there. It's not your job to return just because they realize now what they lost. You're allowed to grow beyond the version of yourself that tolerated less than you deserved. You're allowed to evolve, to move on, to shine elsewhere. I've had to make difficult decisions in my life, to walk away from relationships that no longer fed my soul, to say no to opportunities that didn't align with my values, to sit with loneliness rather than settle for what didn't feel right. And it hurt, because I'm human, I feel deeply, I care fully. But that pain was part of the growth. That space, the one that feels empty at first, eventually became filled with clarity, with self-respect, with inner strength. You see, the people who truly love you, who truly see you, they don't let you walk away so easily. They notice the small things. They appreciate the quiet gestures. They respect your boundaries. And even if they miss you, they honor your choice. They grow from it. They learn. And sometimes they return better, wiser, more aware. But whether they do or don't, your path is not about who follows you. It's about how you follow your own truth. The world will always try to pull you in 100 directions, to convince you that being loud means being strong, that being seen means being valuable, that staying means you care. But real strength often looks like stillness. Real value is felt, not flaunted. And real care is knowing when to stay and when to let go. When you walk away in peace, with no bitterness, no drama, no chaos, you give yourself the gift of freedom. You make space for what's meant for you. And yes, you may leave behind questions, confusion, even regret in the minds of those who took you for granted. But that's not your burden to carry. That's their journey. Yours is to keep moving forward with softness, with fire, with grace. There's an elegance in absence, a dignity in letting go, and a quiet power in choosing yourself. I want you to remember that, because we often think strength is in holding on, but sometimes it's in the release. Staying when your soul is starving is not loyalty, it's self-abandonment. So yes, let them miss you. Let them feel the absence of your light. Let them wonder how they lost someone so genuine, so real. Let them sit with the silence you leave behind, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. And while they miss you, you will rise, not in arrogance, but in truth. You will rebuild, you will heal. And you will grow into someone even stronger, even softer, even more radiant. Because you were never defined by who needed you. You are defined by who you are when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when no one is clapping for your strength. You are defined by how deeply you love and how bravely you let go when love is no longer love. You are defined by how gracefully you walk away and how powerfully you stand alone. And that's the version of you they'll remember. The one who gave everything with heart and left everything with dignity. Let them miss that. Let them miss you. And while they do, you keep walking with your head high, your heart open, and your spirit intact. Because your story is not about who you lose.